kept you waiting, huh? All right. So let's do this, shall we? I have turned everything to high on Battlefield 5. Everything set to high, except undergrowth quality left at a medium. Anti-aliasing, post-processing set to high. MB inclusion, SSAO. And of course, DXR ray trace reflection quality set to high as well. So let's go ahead, let's test this, shall we? Let's start with one of my favorite parts of the game right here. I call it, what was it? I love this. This is one of my favorites, War Stories. And the newest one they released, The Last Tiger. It's pretty darn cool, man. I love these episodes. So let's continue. What I'm going to do here, I'm not going to do any gameplay, competitive gameplay, anything like that. I'm just going to show you the ray tracing. The real-time ray tracing and how it looks in 4K. This is recorded in 4K. It's not going to be 60 FPS because remember, I'm pushing the limits here. I'm pushing everything to its maximum, you know. So I don't think you're going to see 60 FPS. But at least you will be able to appreciate the look and feel of it, of the ray tracing. There it is. You can clearly see it here, and does it adds to the detail? Yes. Now a lot of people have been asking me, what about 2070? Here's the deal. All of the technology that's built on 2080 and 2080 Ti, it's available on 2070. Okay, let me repeat that one more time so that people understand. All of the technology that's built on 2080 and 2080 Ti, it's available on 2070. The only difference is it doesn't have the horsepower that the 2080 and then the 2080 Ti has. This is me talking to you in layman terms, okay? But yes, with 2070 you will have ray tracing. It's just that it will be done in a lower frame rate and a lower performance. But ray tracing looks really good. Here I am with the 4K and the high settings, and please ignore the frame counter that's on the top left. That's not correct. That frame counter, it's out of whack. It's not correct. It's not accurately presented. So just ignore that. All I need to tell you is that I'm running roughly about 53 frames per second right now. 53 to 54 frames per second. And you know what? That's okay for a 4K with high settings and high settings on RTX ray tracing, real-time ray tracing set to high. I can still play like this. You know, it doesn't bother me. If you look at the ray tracing, like you can clearly see it here. It's presented here very nicely. And I think you guys will be able to see it like right here. If you have a really good monitor, I would suggest that you guys connect this to a TV, to a 4K HDR TV. And this ray tracing becomes even more mind-boggling. But let's also be honest, the ray tracing, real-time ray tracing, it's something that just came out last year. So it's still in development. You know what I mean? It's not being utilized properly right now, even on the battlefield. You know, it's going to take some time till they properly utilize the real-time ray tracing, especially on these newer games that are coming out. But for whom is RTX 2080? RTX 2080 is really for those of you who want the latest and the best and who want to be future-proof. I think with 2080, you are future-proof for another 2-3 years, at least 3 years. so you can enjoy. Here you're getting, I mean, think about this. You are getting DirectX 12, you're getting real-time ray tracing, you're getting all of these other cool features that GeForce has. So you can technically have an amazing experience graphically. But I personally want to try 2080 Ti. Someone told me if you really want to kind of get that real-time ray tracing to its limits, get yourself 2080 Ti. As soon as it becomes available, I'm going to get 2080 Ti. But I love the reflection, man. The reflection is something that really adds to the detail in this game. You know, it really does. Especially when there's the explosions and stuff. Even here, you can see that real-time ray tracing being presented, the way it's reflecting that light and everything. It's really good. Like you can see it right there. There it is. And even if I move up here, you can see it right there on that side. Especially if I use my binoculars, like you can see it. Like with the binoculars is the best way to see that real-time ray tracing, like right here. And you get to see it. Now, does EVGA RTX card make a lot of noise? Yes, it's like a loud fan. But hey, would you rather have a loud fan to keep your card cool? Because majority of you are going to be using headphones, okay? You know, I use my headphones, so I don't even hear my graphics cards running. I don't even hear my fans running because I'm using a headphones. And I think this is going to be the case for the majority of people. They're going to be using headphones, so it's really not going to bother you that much. I mean, it looks great. I'm not going to lie to you. I mean, it does look great. Real-time ray tracing definitely looks great. Let me use the binoculars here. I think it's better with the binoculars. When you use binoculars here, you get to see it in a much better form. But I also understand that there's a lot of you out there who still are skeptical about this technology. Look, you don't need to run out right now and buy RTX. I mean, there's only one game that supports it. And when RTX, when real-time ray tracing becomes, you know, something that becomes a standard, then, you know, I guess you can go ahead and I guess it will be included into it. But for right now, real-time ray tracing, it's only available on one game, Battlefield 5, and that's about it. There's some technical demos you can download, try them out. But that's about it, just one game. But it looks cool. I mean, I'm not going to say. I mean, it definitely adds to the detail when you're in a firefight, when you are... when there's explosions going off and on, it definitely adds to the detail. There's no question about that. But how important is that to you? Let's go down here. Just so you guys can... I'm just doing... Remember, I'm doing this as a technical demo. I'm not like doing any gameplay here. In case you guys are wondering, what is he doing? What's wrong with this guy? He's having a seizure. I'm not. I'm just trying to give you guys the real-time ray tracing in the best possible form here. And even when you look at the, for example, when you look at the windows, the reflection, well, these windows are broken, but when you look at the reflection in the windows, if there's, let me see, maybe there's some windows here. you can see the reflection of that burning car. You can see it right there. You can also see the reflection of the buildings from this mirror as well. But all of this takes a lot of horsepower to render this, okay? And this is RTX 2080. Now I know there's RTX 2060. I mean, guys, I don't know if, I know Nvidia is trying to sell their graphics cards, but I don't think RTX 2060 you will be able to do RTX 2060 is for 1080p. I would say buy RTX 2060 if you want to do real-time ray tracing with 1080p. That's what I would recommend. But if you think you buying RTX 2060 to do a 4K real-time ray tracing, that's not going to happen. It's just not going to happen. It's only going to happen with 1080p. It's not going to happen with 4K. All right, and what I'm doing here, I'm bringing to 4K. But here I am with the 2080. I'm still having a hard time, even with the 2080, trying to bring you that real-time ray tracing here, even in 4K. So, all in all, like I said, you gotta ask yourself, do you really need the real-time ray tracing? Currently, right now, I don't think you do, because there's only one game that supports it. Does it add to an experience? Yes, it does, but you will have to go down to 1080p or 1440p. I think with 2070 and 2080, you can do a real-time ray tracing in 1440p, 60 frames per second. You can easily do that. There's tests, and that's how majority is going to be playing this game. They're not going to be playing it in 4K. I will do an additional demo where I'm going to show you 1440p tests, QHD tests of real-time ray tracing with QHD at 60 FPS. And I think 60 FPS, that's where you're going to have that nice smooth experience with real-time ray tracing. Because remember, real-time ray tracing only works if you have a smooth experience. If the frames are smooth and constant and they're not, going out of place, that's how you get that smooth experience. All right, well, there you have it. Hopefully this video gives you some insight. Look, I will do a next video with a 2070. We'll do QHD 2070 just to give you some idea how 2070 runs in QHD 60 FPS with real-time ray tracing, everything set to high. Thank you guys for watching.